This is for the players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
And this is For the Players, the PopCulturists PlayStation podcast. Over 40 years of playing PlayStation and 8 plus years in that games media combined, we thought we'd throw our hat into the ring and join this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 9am Australian Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and 8am on iTunes and the other podcast services. If you'd like to be a part of that conversation, please join us on Facebook, join us on Discord, comment below. If you're feeling generous, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/PopCulturists. Head over there, check out the tiers. There might be something there that interests you.
And if you want to show love for the PopCulturists on your body, head to popculturists.com/shop where you can buy shirts, pillowcases, phone cases, and all the sort of garbage with our logos on it. And of course, you head to twitch.tv/thepopculturists where we do a bunch of streams. We're also affiliated, so you can give us them follows and bits and stuff if you are so inclined.
Almost our new permanent home.
Almost
our new permanent home.
So as we mentioned in the last episode, thanks to Ubisoft, we got nicely fucked.
Not just us, though.
No, it wasn't just
Thousands
us.
of people.
Thousands of YouTubers got straight up fucked. And there were so many of them.
Even big ones.
Even big ones.
Yeah.
So many of them were like, you understand that I stream on YouTube as my business, and
Yeah.
you've now prevented me working for the next 3 months.
Which is fucked in itself. That system
Yeah.
is messed up.
Like, the rules are very clear. It's like, if your live stream gets a worldwide block, bam.
But you don't know what's going to get worldwide blocked.
No, you don't.
Like, you have no idea.
Yep.
And out of all the things that were live streamed over E3, some shit from the Ubisoft conference. of
Yeah,
all
not
things.
even the Just Dance section, which I thought would trigger. It was
Yeah.
something like 50 minutes deep into our
I
presentation.
wish you saved the video so you could actually see what it was.
Yeah, well, because it said I was under the impression that, you know, 'cause the way it says, like, if the video is there, it will continue to be blocked. So I deleted it, thinking it would get rid of it would fix the problem, but it didn't. But then it turns out the bitching on Twitter totally works, because my tweet made it into a Polygon article.
I think it was wholly probably unintended on Ubisoft's side.
No, I don't think it was, because like by the looks of it, they were like, didn't meant to. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe they put it in place but didn't realize it would affect that many. I don't know. They kind of knowingly set that up.
I think
to
they
fuck that many people.
Yeah, I think they
over.
intended the copyright.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's copyright music. Hank, can you hold still for a second? This has been annoying me for like 2 hours. Thank you. Not 2 hours. How long you've been here? Oh, stop that.
That's my style.
Yeah, so I think they would have intended the copyright, but not the block.
Yeah.
So they were like, we'll take the monetization or whatever, but they won't. I didn't think they intended to fuck everyone. And what's really, really weird, it's obviously not auto-detected, because I know there's a couple other channels that I follow that streamed it and they didn't get hit. Like, they can still, like, you can, because, like, you know, with the blocked worldwide, you got to click on it, it's like, this video is blocked worldwide. And like, other channels, I'm like, nope, there it is. There's the exact moment. I know approximate location, and it. Should probably shut that door, because as in James kicked that door in last week. Yeah, so they're the exact moment of when it should have been struck, and they weren't. So targeted.
Oh well.
We saw it. They
It's
saw
all,
us as a real threat, maybe.
It's all old news.
But no, we're back.
They can't hold us down.
The man.
We'll reach for the scats.
Yeah, no, we'll probably stream here occasionally on the Wednesdays, but I think we will. We've been moving towards Twitch for streaming anyway.
It is overall a better platform for it.
But it's just that if we don't do anything on YouTube, the only thing that goes up is For the Players, and we need to do some other stuff on here.
Yeah.
But anyways, how has your E3 week been?
Oh, E3 was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk prior as well, because last week, you know, with the episode that just went up, we only talked about E3. So what have you done since before that? Like, what have you played? What have you been doing?
I mean, you know.
Well, you cancelled your WoW subscription.
Yeah, I did. Because I was just wasting time on it. I was playing it for the sake of playing it. So I'm like, character's ready for the expansion. I have no reason to be playing this game right now. There's still a month left on it, because the day after I cancelled it, it auto-renewed. But I haven't played it for like 2 weeks now. E3, the trailer for the Destiny expansion, I was like, okay, you've got my interest back. Went on the PlayStation Store, I saw that you can get the double DLC pack for the two that have just come out, that have come out for half price. I'm like, cool, alright, no worries. So I've been playing Destiny 2 again. They've added a lot of good things. You know, the game seems to be flowing a fair bit more. The story stuff they added was pretty cool. I wouldn't have called them expansions. More like, you know, DLC. You know,
Best.
the term is like, you know, real muddled between DLC and expansions. But the Forsaken one is the one that's coming is an expansion. I mean, there's a whole lot of new content, 2 new areas, you know, new game modes, and you know all that kind of stuff. Whereas these were more like, here's a couple more story missions. And you know, if I paid full price,
a raid.
If I paid full price for them, I would have been a bit meh, but I didn't. So you know, whatever. But Hollow Knight.
Yeah, I picked it up on the Switch.
Mwah!
Yeah.
Wow, that game is amazing. I've played it. Okay. The first hour or so, I was like...
So we should mention, made by Team Cherry, which is a lovely Australian developer. We met a couple of years ago at PAX. We went to their booth and we played it.
PAX, I think. Played like early alpha or something.
Super early.
For the first hour, I was like, let's go. It's okay. You know, it's cool. But I'm probably 3 or 4 hours in now, and I kind of hit a point where I beat the first boss, and then a couple other things happen. I'm like... okay, now I get it. Yeah, now I understand all the big hype and stuff like that. And just a lot of cool design decisions in it, because, you know, you don't start with a map. You can buy the map eventually. But the map doesn't update as you explore. You explore and go back to town, rest on a bench, and you pull your map out and quickly scribble all the extra rooms in you found. I thought that was a nice little touch.
So you have to get out to
yeah, you got to kind of get back out to update your map. But then it's different maps for different areas and all that. And I like how the story isn't presented just as tons of text dialogue. It does it very Dark Souls-y, where it's take the tidbits you can and kind of piece the story together yourself. You kind of interpret what's happened here and why this is happening and all that kind of stuff. Instead of just being like, there's a bad guy and you need to go and end his evilness. But yeah, just a lot of cool ideas, and then you know, certain areas are blocked off until you get certain items. You can kind of get the items whenever you want, because you buy the items from the shop. So you're like, well, I want to go to this area. Area I stumbled across was pitch black. You can't see anything. Then you go to the shop and you can buy a lantern. But instead of that, I could go to the other side of the map and buy this item, and I could go that way instead. Very, very cool. And the combat's like fucking crisp. Like crispy crisp. Like KFC chip crisps.
Oh.
Well, they're not actually crisp.
Oh,
that was a bad analogy.
No.
Like the very last of the McDonald's fries, like in the chute, like just real crunchy.
The leftovers in the fish and chip pack.
Yeah. The shit chips. But they're crispy.
I love those crispy chips.
There's no potato. It's just like mounds of batter.
Yeah, it's so good.
Anyway, Hollow Knight's amazing.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised at the price.
Because $17 on the Switch? Yeah.
$17.50. The Switch is real touch and go with indie game pricing. There's a game that I've wanted for a while called Crypt of the Necrodancer. You can get it for $3 on Steam, and it's $29.95 on the Switch.
The Binding of Isaac. I paid $4 on Steam.
Yep.
$79.95 on the Switch.
Yeah. So I was expecting it to be $30, and to see it at the same price as Stardew as well was amazing. Well, but I'm like 3 hours in. I don't know how long the game's going to go for, but I feel like I've already got my money's worth just from the visuals and, you know, the feelings that you get playing it and all that. I've got my dollar's worth already. But I'm determined. I don't know what it is about this game, but I'm determined not to Google a thing. Like, I feel like I'm going to do this myself. And I've been stuck a couple times where I'm like, I almost cracked. I'm like, I just need to find out how to get past this. But nah, step back, come back to it, and then you go, oh, of course, so simple. So I'm really determined to complete this game without any assistance.
Very nice.
What about you?
I just gonna put it out there. I have that God of War Platinum. It is my second platinum ever, but my first legitimate platinum. My first one being Job Simulator, and you get that from just playing it. This is the first one that I've
Telltale.
Yeah, it's the first one I've actually gone and hunted for.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Feels real good. Like it feels like I've done a service to the game.
Mute.
Feels like I've done a service to the game. Feels like I've earned my keep with it.
And it's good to get the platinum to be like, I have finished this game. Yeah. Not just I've finished the story. Like, I've ticked every box there is to tick with this. So.
I don't think I'll get many other platinums this year, if at all. But like that game deserved so much of my time that I had to see it through.
It's strange to hear. You know, every few days you'd be like, you know, tick, and because I honestly expected you just to move on like you always do.
Yeah.
So that's good. Well done.
No, it was good. Like it was, the one thing that gave me the most time was obviously the Ravens were pretty shit. I did have to use a guide for some of them.
I used a guide for the last couple.
Yeah, because as I was running through, because I pretty much just sweep my way through. So I was like, went back and just kind of slowly inch my way through every environment, every area. Then like, at the end, I'm like, I'm missing like 5 in Niflheim. This is fucked. And then I'm like, retrace my steps using a guide. I'm like, all right, fine, done.
Yeah.
Valkyrie Queen took me about.
Sorry, props on the guides though. They were up on YouTube like 2 days after the game came.
Yeah,
out
I know there are some like PSN trophies, which like I know they got a copy from PlayStation. I think they know what they do. So here's a copy, get it out, have these drop it,
get the guides ready.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because I know that like IGN obviously get a lot of their copies early as well, so they can do their guides. But yeah, no, the one thing that gave me the most time was the Valkyrie Queen. I think about 50 tries, easy.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so weird because I spent, like we've talked about before, the Muspelheim one just kicked my ass for hours and hours, and you one-shot it.
I did it in one go,
easy.
yeah.
I one-shot the Queen, but she gave you a lot of trouble.
Gave me a ton of trouble, and then it was one of those things. I'm like, fuck this. Maybe I won't ever get this. Maybe I won't get it. Put it down. Go to bed. Next morning, I'm like, I'm gonna give this a go. Came in here, sat down, one go.
I feel like I kind of somehow brute forced it. Like I feel like I killed her quicker than I maybe should have at the time. Did you use there's an amulet that slows down time?
No.
Because and then you upgrade it, slows down time even longer. It's like the dimensional rift thing. I think it was in a trailer where it's like everything's slow motion except for you. And I could take off like probably a good quarter of her health in that slow-mo, and she couldn't. She's like, and I'm like, I think that's what really helped me, that amulet.
Yeah, I think what ended up getting me in, because I said, because she's just relentless, right? So there's that urge to want to just keep moving forward yourself and be like, fuck, and that's what kind of had to happen. So like at the end, I had to sort of be like, all right, use a lot of Atreus to sort of stun her, bring her down, and then go in with those runic attacks. And like, obviously a lot of the blades, because for some reason I'd upgraded everything at that point, obviously to get platinum, but like I'd put a ton into the blades, obviously because they were big sweeping off health off her. So I'm like, all right, push back.
And the range too.
Yeah, and the nice range. So like, okay, cool, and bang, and then get in there and do that, and that would take a good hunk off, and then it would just be blocking and stunning her and bringing her down.
You gotta just take a step back. It's not just this thing must die. It's like I need to. There's no time limit. I just need to take my time, pick my shots.
Which is completely different to how old God of War played. That's just relentless. It's all about you getting in there and just fucking things up fast.
Yeah. Did you have the resurrection stones as well?
Yeah, I did, of course. Yeah, it's a big one. Yeah, kind of fun.
I think she was pretty close to death, but I was pretty close as well. So I let myself die, knowing I'd come back with full rage from the maximum stone.
I went the health option because
No, I went because when you're in fury doing whatever, you gain health anyway. Yeah. So come back with full rage, went and killed her during that like final burst. But it was really down to like if she doesn't die in this fury thing, I'm out. I'm done. But yeah, it's good.
That was really good. What else I've been playing? I said I've just streamed a lot, mostly with obviously the E3 panels. Prior to the Nintendo one, I streamed Fallout Shelter and Fallout 4 for a couple of hours. Fallout Shelter is fun.
Wait, on Twitch, obviously.
Yeah, on Twitch.
Because I'll have to set up notifications and stuff. Because the Twitch mobile app is fucking garbage.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Absolute garbage. So I very rarely go to it. But our community member Chris was streaming last night, so I downloaded the app. Reset my password because I've got my password and all logged into that, but it's just like buffering all the fucking time.
So what I do is I have notifications set up, so then it goes bing, hey, person is streaming. I'm like, okay, cool, and then I'll move to my computer.
Okay, I was in bed at that point, but yeah.
Oh, when Chris started, I was already asleep. I woke up the next morning going, hey, I'm live. I'm like, fuck. But yeah, so we played Fallout Shelter and we sort of made our own little story about the people that are in there and what they were doing. And
I did jump into Fallout 4 as well.
Yeah, and then so we played that for about an hour because it is a mobile game.
West Virginia! I'm so hyped for Fallout 76. No
idea. So it is a mobile game, so it does have a lot of those not time wasting, but time reliant shit.
Yeah.
So I played until I could. I think you may have woken up James with your West Virginia singing.
Well, I mean, there's worse ways to be woken up.
True. So I played until it was pretty much like just wait out time. I'm like, all right, this bounce from Fallout 4. Started again. Man, like I remember one of the big shit points on that was like, it looks like it's fucking Fallout 3. Like, no, I played Fallout 3 recently. Fallout 4
it looks great.
Fallout 4 looks so much better than people remember.
A tidbit from Todd Howard as well, just in regards to Fallout and the engines and all that. He did say pretty recently that they're going to have one more game on the current engine, and then everything else from there.
So Starfield and Elder Scrolls
is on a new engine. So you'd presume Fallout 76 is that last game on the engine, and then we get the new engine.
Would explain why Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 were, as you referred to them, next gen.
Yeah, because it'd be on some fucking insane engine.
Yeah.
And at the time their engines come out, they are like top of the line as well. Because how long has their current engine lasted them for?
Morrowind and Oblivion.
20 years or 15 years, maybe?
Minimum.
That's insane. Because at the time when that engine came out, that was like, holy shit. So I'm excited for that. Just another little Bethesda tidbit, because I'm all up in Bethesda's bumhole at the moment.
Oh, same. Yeah. Same. Sorry, I'm just organising D&D with Paris.
We're going to play D&D for the first time. We're going to make our characters after this.
Yeah. And then probably in the next couple of weeks.
Might be a short, bald, bearded, fat bar.
Yeah, my imagination isn't really that good. I'm like, it looks like me.
But it's going to be
blue?
giving me, but I'll probably be like a bard or something.
Yeah. Which is, you're a musician anyway, so it kind of works.
Oh, a musician.
Well, you can play
Stop
music.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I jumped in Fallout 4. Shit's good. I kind of got that hook right in.
Yeah, I did.
For me, because I
played it for probably about 3 hours, and I was like...
Did you start fresh?
I did start fresh.
Yeah, because I did the same thing. I was like, I pulled up the game. I'm like, where the fuck am I? When did I get that gun?
I didn't even do that. I don't know. The idea of getting into it was really cool, but once I got into it, I was like, I just don't really want to do this big grind at the moment. But, you know, I still got a little taste of it.
Yeah, I still think you should jump into Rainbow Six Siege with us, because I think that'd be some good chats.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, it's been pretty. I've got.
I feel obliged. Like, I bought you this game,
motherfucker.
Now you have to play.
That's why I did it.
I was like, oh god damn it.
And then I've got Unravel 2, which was announced. That's one of those shadow drops, as they're officially called, which I like as a name. Yeah, so we'll probably play that at some point with some co-op action. We'll get some twitching.
Get all sad.
Yeah, and then just cry together and hug it out. Sounds
the first one did make me cry quite a few times, actually.
Good game. Fucking good game.
No dialogue, just music and setting.
And atmosphere.
Yeah, and just the pieces of the story you see from like the photo frames, like going through this lady's house and seeing like a family, and then seeing like the fireflies make the family. Oh, it's good. It was real
damn good. I remember playing that at PAX.
Didn't get the attention I think it should have. It's like a cult kind of hit. Yeah. It's not mainstream. I think it should be up there. Is it on the Switch?
No.
That'd be cool.
Because Unravel 2...
Pretty much any game. Is it on the Switch? No. Oh, it should be, because that'd be next level.
Speaking of Fallout 4, I kind of wish I'm bummed that they didn't announce coming to the Switch, or even Fallout 3. That just seems like a good game. Because like my wife's playing Skyrim again now. Now they've got the new PS4. So like I was playing it on the Switch, and while she was playing on the PS4, I'm like, man, fuck, Skyrim's good shit.
That is
good shit. It is like crack, but it's good shit.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's good. Anyways, that's enough of what we've been playing for a good old like 20-something minutes. And now we can jump into the what news that happened. So this is the news that didn't happen during E3. And it's in a section we call Inform the Players.
Some of it's
I was trying to explain the fact that, hey, not much news. E3 was the news.
E3 was the majority of the news, but there are a couple of things not related and maybe a little bit related. Number one, The Last of Us has sold over 17 million copies since it was first released in 2013. Naughty Dog announced the landmark sales figure, which is current as of April, on Twitter in celebration of the game's 5th anniversary. Last of Us originally came out in June 14, 2013 for PS3 and was ported to PS4 in 2014. Naughty Dog basically tweeted saying thank you guys so much. 70 million for a single game is fucking awesome.
That does go over two generations though, PS3
it does,
and PS4.
Yeah, but it came out right at the tail end as well. But a lot of people would have double bought it. I know I did. I had it on PS3 and I bought it on PS4. Yeah, and you've still fucking finished it. Every time I talk about this game, I need to bring it up.
I think that'll be my next one.
Platinum.
Oh, no platinum because it's multiplayer.
Apparently, it's one of the hardest platinums.
Yeah.
on period.
Yeah,
on
I have no
PlayStation.
interest in doing the
Not only that,
multiplayer.
but I think you need to finish it on like max difficulty and stuff
fuck
like that
that
as
noise.
well. And it's hard enough.
Fuck that noise.
But yeah, Naughty Dog just continued to kill it with all these milestones. I think they had another one with Uncharted, the series, earlier this year.
Some huge.
Yeah.
Well, apart from 10 years, which was PSX in December, I think the big old numbers.
But yeah, they continue to kill it. The developer of the Batman Arkham series of games, Rocksteady, has made a statement addressing its absence from E3 this year. We did have one of us had as our prediction.
I had in my
said be
prediction
there.
that it would be there would be at the PlayStation show, and they would have a DC property.
Game director and co-founder of Rocksteady Studios, Sefton Hill, posted a message on Twitter acknowledging the disappointment from the fans. In his tweet, Hill says the message he put out, which thanks fans for their enthusiasm towards the next project and promises to reveal it when it's ready, is from the entire Rocksteady team. Fan disappointment likely comes from the rumours around Rocksteady developing a Superman or Justice League game, which, after very critical success of the most recent Arkham Knight, would at the very least promise to be better than Superman 64.
See, although I wasn't invested, I was like, yeah, I'd like to see this. Like, we're Kind of Funny fans. Greg Miller, super invested. Like every conference, he's like, this is where it is, and you see his disappointment,
I don't know. I think that might be surface level disappointment, but I think he knows. Like he
They're
knows,
buddies.
He knows everything.
So this is
like he's so balls deep in the industry and the people in the studios that. But it's because everyone knows they can trust him not to leak. Like he's never leaked a thing in his life.
Well, example with Spider-Man, they knew that it wasn't going to be. Who did everyone think it was going? Sucker Punch. He knew it. He knew it was Insomniac, but that's why they never predicted it. Like him and Colin, when they did their predictions.
Yeah, and they were always very like read around our predictions as well. But yeah, I'm glad that they are. They've had a lot of time since Arkham Knight, and I'm glad they're
2 years.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're not so eager to be like, yeah, look, we're doing something. It's like, no, we'll do it when it's ready. Which is getting a common theme now at the moment because, CDPR are doing the same thing with Cyberpunk, which we'll talk about later.
Like, I'm still curious on where this Arkham Insurgency that we heard about probably about a year ago now, which was said to be done by WB Games. I kind of do want to know whatever happened to that. But I do, something because I have such a bad taste in my mouth for Arkham Origins. I guarantee it's not that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I guarantee it's not that
fine.
bad.
It was fine. Not great. Not at the level of the other two, but it was good enough, I think. Soul Calibur has a release date, which I misspelled Soul Calibre.
Soul Calibre.
Soul Calibre. Like Nacho Libre is a playable character. Will be released on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC on October 19th.
Woo!
October's stacked.
October's fucked.
Like, why? I don't understand why I put it there.
Just like February, fucked.
Gonna have to be very picky with what we pick up during that
Yeah,
time period.
that'll either that or we're gonna have just to spread it.
So what is it? Soul Calibur, Gwent makes its big return. Red Dead, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider September.
Assassin's Creed.
October.
Call of Duty.
October.
Battlefield.
November.
Still, it's within like 4 weeks of each other.
Yeah,
man.
September to November is gonna be dick.
And Red Dead could just be the only game you play for that whole period of time.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm having to look now because now that we've got E3, there's a bunch of release dates. Like we can actually plan the rest of the year now, which is good because everyone's been really kind of cards close to their chest at this point with their release dates.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah, Spider-Man's in October as well. No, he's September.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
That's another game you could play for like a month on
Yeah.
its own, yeah. It appears Netflix is partnering with Telltale Games for an interactive game based off Stranger Things. Though Tech Radar initially indicated that the potential Stranger Things game would be coming to the streaming service, Netflix issued a response declaring that it would be a more traditional Telltale series on standard gaming platforms. That's not the only thing coming as part of the collaboration. Netflix will indeed offer Telltale's Minecraft story mode on the streaming service. Netflix has dabbled in interactive experiences before, including Puss in Book, Trapped in an Epic Tale. That could go a couple of ways. And Buddy Thunderstruck, the Maybe Pile, which will both choose your own stories for younger viewers. And you're gonna like control with your remote and stuff. It's weird. It just seems
so it's
weird.
in the Netflix app?
In the Netflix app. You just need to put your phone away when we're doing this. Show.
I'm trying to organise things for people. I probably should have done it before.
So in the Netflix streaming app, so whether you get to play it without paying for it because it's on the Netflix app because you're already paying for it. I don't know. It's weird. It's just like really weird. I can't quite wrap my head around it. I mean, the games don't require a lot of input. Do you want to go left or right? You're not really running around doing all your action
Or dialogue
stuff.
options.
Yeah,
and
or
stuff,
one of your key buttons for choosing your dialogue. But it could be really cool just to kind of introduce a lot of people to this style of game. I can picture, especially Stranger Things as well. I wish they wouldn't, but they are. So, I like Stranger Things as it is. And Telltale really haven't kind of been on their game.
Yeah, Telltale,
lately.
after they did have bbig layoffs recently, and they did, sort of have a restructure and readjustment as a company. So they haven't. Because I remember there was a while there where every month we'd hear about a new Telltale game that the new game they were working on, a new property, and they've kind of been quiet for a while. So I think this is probably heading in the right direction in that sense, as in they're not.
I think that they've obviously continued with The Walking Dead, which is about to finish up. I think.
Yeah,
It's not far off it.
So other than that,
Yeah, I don't think anything else is running at the moment. But when you have to think, like, what else are they doing? Because they've got so much going. That's a problem in itself. You shouldn't have to be like, oh, they've got Guardians going and Game of Thrones going and Minecraft going.
Because I think Batman's done and dusted now. Oh,
Yeah.
they've done 2 seasons. I don't know whether they're doing a third.
Minecraft season 2 wrapped up earlier this year.
Yeah, we've got Walking Dead season 4, which is the final one. That's coming out soon.
It'll be interesting. Like, it's a new venture. I'm keen to see how it goes.
I'm very intrigued.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good way to put it. I try to limit my use the word interesting because it's an easy way out. Not having a slag at you.
You did. So
No. You didn't use it 18 times in that one conversation, so you're fine.
okay.
Other random.
The next interesting bit of news.
What?
I said interesting again.
Ah,
I was meant to like.
I was meant to.
Fuck you. A number of Fortnite players have expressed outrage following the revelation that the PS4 players won't be able to carry over their existing Epic Games account to the Switch. This is on top of no crossplay between the systems. Sony issued a response to the controversy in all its PR glory. Quote, "We're always open to hearing what the PlayStation community is interested in to enhance their gaming experience," reads the statement to BBC. "With more than 80 million monthly active users on the PlayStation Network, we've built a huge community of gamers who can play together on Fortnite and all online titles. We also offer Fortnite crossplay for PC, Mac, iOS and Android, expanding the opportunity for Fortnite fans on PS4 to play with even more gamers on the other platforms." They pretty much just dodged everything. So, a lot of people are looking at this as a crossplay argument, but I don't think that's the crux of the issue. It's Sony pretty much holding hostage your third-party Epic Games account, which is more of the issue. If people could use their account on all the other platforms, I don't think crossplay would be really touched on at all. It's like, you're not giving us crossplay and you're keeping our accounts to yourself.
Because what I tried to do is, because I obviously have my personal account and I have the PopC account, right? I'm like, the PopC account has been used to play Fortnite before, like on the Xbox and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool. I'll just use, because I'll keep my, so PS4 over there, done. Turns out I have apparently played the PopC one on the PS4, and it's like, that's balls.
I think we had a community night or something.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, I'm like, that's balls.
Yeah, if ever once your account's locked out. Nintendo of America President Reggie
Fils-Aimé
told IGN that allowing Fortnite crossplay on the Switch was a developer-forward and fan-forward move, but also added that what Sony does is their decision to make, which it is.
So Reggie, that is the most perfect answer.
Yeah, it is. He's so good at what he does.
Well, no, as in, like, because this is something that we've had conversation about the crossplay and stuff in the past, and like you've got we've got quite heated debates.
Yeah.
Because, like, for me, I'm like, yeah, it's dick, but they are within their very own grounds. So they have, because I guarantee you, as I've said before, if it was the other way around and this was Microsoft, they would have done the exact same thing.
Probably. But, like I said, this is...
I'll let you jump. I'll let you go.
No, but like I said, we're, crossplay is one thing, but this whole account thing is a different issue entirely. And the blame's kind of being he said, she said at the moment. Epic are like... It's a Sony thing. Like, we can't do anything. And Sony haven't refuted that, but they also haven't obviously accepted that at the same time. Because no matter who says whose problem it is, accepting it, like you said to me last night, is accepting the responsibility for the issue.
Yeah. And then all the backlash that comes with it.
Now, And as Joel said in our chat, because we were chatting about this last night, he said it might even be in the terms of agreement, like when you do it, and it very well might be, but that doesn't kind of take away from. It's pretty dicky.
Yeah,
because it's a third-party account. It's not a Sony account. All your Fortnite stuff that you unlock on the PlayStation is tied to your Epic Games account, which then you can take to PC or mobile. Obviously, you can't take it to the Switch or the Xbox, which is the big issue at the moment. And it's like, well, Sony, this account isn't your property. It's Epic Games property, which makes it my property. Why are you able to dictate this?
See, for that reason alone, I think it has to be in the terms of agreement.
It very well might be. But another issue is that if you go to the epicgames.com, you can unlink your account. And you still, if you unlink your account, you lose everything you've paid for and unlocked, gone into the wind, and you still can't use that account. So it's like, well, why am I even unlinking it for if I can't keep it, And like I said, unlinking it and losing everything, that's an Epic Games thing. But you still can't use the account on the other platforms. And like I said last night, it's very rare that Sony is in the news for bad PR these days, especially at this level. And it's just weird seeing all this vitriol thrown at Sony.
And it's all to do with crossplay and Fortnite.
Huh?
Every other bit of PR they've received in the last 3 years has been good because it's not Fortnite.
Yeah, but like I said, crossplay is the thing, but it's also why are you keeping our stuff? Yeah. And it was the same thing, because Alex played Fortnite pretty heavily on the PS4, my son, but then he found out his buddy plays it a lot on the Xbox. So now Alex is playing on the Xbox. So Alex did spend about $60 of his own money on the microtransactions and getting skins and all that stuff, and now they're just sitting on the PlayStation unused because he had to make a new account to play with his buddy on the Xbox, and it just seems real backwards. It's the same thing with Rocket League, I think. I remember we did a news story a while ago that Rocket League Psyonix were bringing their Psyonix account for crossplay. Have they done that yet?
Couldn't tell you.
I don't think they have, but I imagine it'll be the same situation. Yeah, you sign into Rocket League, you sign into your Psyonix account, but you still can't take your stuff from PS4 over to everything else.
As I said, this isn't a crossplay issue because it isn't in this particular example. It isn't. Because the problem here is they're not going, we're not against crossplay. Because you can still do it with PC and Apple. All we're saying is our crossplay doesn't work with our direct competitors.
And that's fine. Okay, that's your decision. But
like I said, yes. But the issue is that crossplay argument done. Them holding the account is bonkers. Yeah. Absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. They're willingly putting themselves in this really bad situation.
There has to be a reason. There has to be something somewhere that people have just avoided, or not looked at, or not seen. And because they can't, this is something, it's baffling that we haven't seen this earlier.
But even if it is in the terms of agreement, that sucks. But
because it has to be. It has to be. Because if it isn't, then this can be instantly fucked. Sony can be fucked over for this in a second, and they would admit they would have to step back on it if they didn't have some sort of grounds to hold it. You would like to think,
but I would imagine, in that respect though, there can't be any engineering side of it, because remember when Fortnite accidentally unlocked the crossplay, accidentally, whatever, and people on PlayStation were playing with people with Xbox for a very brief period of time, so it's there. And obviously, whether that's just crossplay or your account stuff as well, I don't know. But I don't understand how, Nintendo of all people can make this happen, but Sony can't.
See, but this is capitalism, man. This is the world that we live in. They as a company have the right to do this. They don't have to appease. Every jerk every internet jerk that's no, we need fuck crossplay. No,
I wasn't talking crossplay.
This is not you. This is in general. I'm just fucking ranting on the internet now. They don't have to. No. There is nothing this isn't some sort of it's a free market, but because of that, people can put their own restrictions on shit as they want. And metaphorical you that have chosen to use this service, you follow by their rules.
Yeah, but then also progression comes from questioning why things are.
Yes.
as well. So just because it is that way, it doesn't mean you have to like it. You can argue it till your face turns blue.
And you know the great thing about capitalism is if you disagree with it, you can step away and use something else.
But that's what people are doing.
Yeah.
Like for Sony, that's the thing. There's even this huge Reddit post.
See, this is the crossplay stuff. In terms of this account locking, they're preventing you from going elsewhere, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, think about think about it this way. It's exactly like iTunes and the Google Play Music Store, right? Both offer you the same product. You can't take your songs from iTunes to Google Play. No one has a problem with that because that's how the system works. And and not saying that that's a good or a bad thing, but it's the exact same thing. Kind
of, because iTunes and Google Play aren't sharing with anyone else either, where you do have this ecosystem with Nintendo and Xbox.
Yeah, which is only something that's happened ever so recently.
Oh, I know.
And I do think everyone, even this way to make things a bit worse, right? The encoding that they use on the Apple iTunes store, it's not MP3. It's M4A or something. So it's almost proprietary. So you can't play it on other devices. That's worse than what's going on here. But no one has a problem with that vocally. I do think there is some entitlement. I think there.
I don't use Apple products.
Me
so
too. I don't buy songs for that reason anymore. But like there is an entitlement with gamers and around this, and I think that is a problem. It's a separate problem. Once again, crossplay, not cosplay. But with this agreement shit. This is bull. Sony, fix your shit, man.
Well, there's even the
step
Fortnite
it back.
subreddit.
Don't allow don't allow PlayStation to work with Xbox and Switch. That's fine. Just don't hold accounts for ransom. That's
so
bull.
people
That's
are even
dumb.
on the Fortnite subreddit, which is huge, by the way. It's one of the biggest subreddits there is. It's massive.
You think
people
free
are buying their V-Bucks on PC. So Sony don't get a cut of the money anymore as well. Still playing on PlayStation, but they're spending their microtransaction dollars on the PC for their account. So Sony are losing money from that now as well.
Free market. This is the point I'm making. Like, if you have a problem with it, find ways around it.
And a lot of people have. And there are thousands of people doing this at the moment, which I think is pretty clever, really. It's just I don't understand their thought process on this. Like, they're willingly giving themselves all this bad press.
As I said, I imagine when this agreement came about, this would have been 18 months ago, 2 years ago?
About a year ago.
I'd say, it's a year ago since Fortnite launched.
Battle Royale's only been out for about 9 months.
Okay, well, so I imagine the agreement's not as something as simple as, hey, we're going to organise this agreement in 3 months. Like, I don't see that happening. I imagine it's a long conversation.
Maybe.
And like, because Fortnite itself had multiplayer, like, they actually Save the World, whatever the fuck it's called. That agreement would have been prior to that again.
Which is really good, by the way.
As I'm saying, like, I think a lot of these agreements were put in place or beginning prior to this sudden openness, right? So for that reason, I think they're within their grounds for the conversation they had at the start. Do they need to amend that agreement? Fuck yes, they do.
Yeah, I mean, agreements are one thing, but you also need to. Times change, Slavery's still a thing. No,
very different example. Very different example.
It was okay. People are like, actually, it's not, and they're like, yeah, it's not. So that's not a thing anymore. It's a very, very dark example.
Yeah, not even close.
Anyway. Crossplay, do whatever the fuck you want. Holding your accounts, stop it.
Yes.
And you even got prominent people in the industry going, Sony, this is not okay.
Yeah.
Greg Miller, like the biggest Sony advocate on the planet, did the tweet going, fix your shit. This is not cool.
Yeah.
Top selling games for week ending the 10th of June 2018. Starting at number 10, Uncharted 4. Number 9, FIFA 18. Number 8, Skyrim Remastered.
Hey!
Bethesda have really gotten people like in. Number 7, Shadow of the Colossus. Number 6, Far Cry 5. Number 5, Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. Number 4, GT Sport. Number 3, Detroit Become Human. Number 2, Vampire. And number 1, back up there is God of War.
So a lot of these
Detroit dropped very quickly.
Yeah, because a lot of these games are on the Days of Play sale, just available right now. A bunch of cool games for going cheap.
Destiny expansions.
Yeah, there's a bunch of sales going on right now, which was really interesting. So Dylan, who hasn't played a lot of games, messages us yesterday in Discord, be like, I just bought a ton of games. I'm like, Dylan, are you okay? out of nowhere, he started playing a ton of games, and it's good to see. So, like, you know,
Would you like to come and talk about them at some point?
I'm like, do you want to come talk about games? So, like I said, there are a bunch of good sales on right now, by the way. Just go have a look around. You'll find something rad.
Yeah.
So, there's Nintendo got like 50% off up to on Switch. I don't know, probably a bunch of garbage. Xbox have got a bunch of stuff as well with their E3 sale. And
Just one thing on the Switch. It is getting pretty loaded with bloatware.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way the Wii did. Like, there's just so much fucking garbage on there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you go through the new releases and you're like, oh, that's okay. And then it's just like 3 pages of just, what even is this? And that's because a lot of devs have gone from Steam to the Switch because they found Switch a bit more friendly. I just think, every time I go to the Switch store, I'm like, ugh. The interface is shit. And just looking at it, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I only go by... I
go by specific. I know what I want. I go to the store. I search it.
I never search.
I get the fuck out.
I'm never going to just drift through that store. I know exactly what I want to get and pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, you came for Smash?
Yeah, pretty keen.
Yeah, I've never played Smash. Like, I've played Smash, but I've never been like invested.
I haven't played since the 64.
And watching it, I'm like,
It's come a long way.
Like, 64 players. I'm like, wow.
To me, that's too many because on 64, I think had maybe 16-ish.
Like, 16.
It just seems like they're really like reaching for just who else can we put
like
in?
I watched
This
that trailer and I'm like, who are half of you?
Yeah.
And like, there's like a little boy with a hat, and my wife's like, oh, Ness. I'm like, who the fuck is Ness?
Ness. Yeah, I didn't know Ness before 64 either. They put like Ridley in there, who was Metroid's.
Yeah, Metroid. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's
'cause I was
like a comic strip, and it's like, should we let Ridley in Smash? And they're like, oh, let's ask Samus. And she's like, he literally killed my parents. And he's like, that one time.
The internet's, side note, internet's going nuts. No Waluigi.
He'll be in there.
He'll come in.
He'll definitely.
He'll come in.
Because they're all 64, like, and they've shown a few more, but there's not a chance he won't be in this game. I guarantee it. Someone did a video, you know, Master Hand from the games. They like panned it out.
And
it's
yeah,
like,
that's
why
why
Luigi's hand.
Anyway, that's not PlayStation.
What? Oh, let's talk PlayStation. So the main topic we're going to talk about is Cyberpunk, but before we do that, I just want to quickly revisit the Sony conference from E3. After we've had time to just chill out a little bit, we did leave it pretty disappointed, but a couple of days to just sit, think about it. I think you rewatched it.
I did.
It'd be good just to chat about it again, because in hindsight, to me, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And as Joel pointed out to us in the chat, Sony did come out a few weeks ago and be like, here's what you're going to get, to try to get their expectations down a little bit. We're focusing on the 4 big titles. It's exactly what they did. Got gameplay for all of them. Really good, solid sections of gameplay. You pretty much know exactly how these games are going to be, except for Death Stranding. Even we got gameplay for that too, which is like a walking sim so far, with Norman Reedus and the funky fetus.
And about 38 boxes. I think I've seen a lot of like Amazon, FedEx memes going on
like
with Death
same-day
Stranding.
delivery with Norman Reedus.
Yeah, look, I'm in the same boat. Rewatching it, like that, the way that is laid out is just appalling. In the hour and a bit, you spent 20 of it. Well, no, I'm exaggerating there. About 15 minutes of it just waiting for them to move location to location. Like, I really loved that idea of that opening hall, which was which was in the Last of Us trailer, right? And then when everyone's moving, I thought, fuck, if they're gonna have 4 key locations, that would be horrible. Amazing. Like, granted, like
amazing, but horrible to watch.
Ideally, it would have been better. We've got 4 locations, and you stay in that location. Everyone watches the same panel. Everyone watches the same video.
But then the auditorium would have been empty, which I don't think they would have.
What's the thing? They wouldn't have had an auditorium. Just have 4 locations.
Yeah, maybe.
So you still have the same amount.
But then, what stage do people present on at the same time? Oh, they didn't really. Actually, did they?
No, they didn't start, and that was it. So I'm saying you could have got away with having 4 locations, which would have been insane.
It's probably a space thing for that, though.
Yeah, but
I get what you're saying.
What they're saying is the way Sean Layden comes up and goes, "Hey, we're going on a journey." That would be a journey. 4 different, because like, granted, they showed a somewhat of a disrespect to those watching.
Maybe.
In a way. So those that were there got a really cool experience, but fuck everyone else. In the same sense. Because like we're sitting here going...
No, see, I'll look at it as...
But, once they got to that auditorium, and it was just clear... It's exactly what it should have been.
Yeah, I I respect them for trying something different.
I think they should have gone
And
all out.
I think they've obviously would have been reading the feedback and taken a whole lot of feedback for this presentation and notes and all that. What can we do differently next year? And I think we'll get probably a similar thing next year, but hopefully a bit more focused and a bit flowing a little bit better, because it did feel very disjointed. But in terms of what was actually shown, take away the intermission. Take away the intermission part. What was actually shown was really good.
Yeah, and like this is the thing, because we are at the end of all the big games they've announced for PlayStation 4. So the last 3 years, maybe even 4 years, they've been showcasing what's to come. And they've hit that point. They've showed everything. I think they have literally showed us everything that'll come to PS4.
First party stuff.
Yeah.
We know what every studio is doing.
We are not every studio that hasn't already released a game. Sorry, that has released a game or everything with PS5.
Yeah.
Period. We're not
Guerrilla Games are working for PS5.
Yeah, we are not going to see. We've seen the next 2 years.
I wouldn't be surprised if The Last of Us 2 was being developed for PS5, but is going to be, brought down to, downscaled for PS4, but it'll be ready to go on PS5 the day that comes out.
So the point I'm making is then the reason they haven't announced anything big or anything huge is for that reason, because they know the next gen's coming, and they know it's right around the corner. So let's give you everything that we have as is.
That makes me feel good for Cyberpunk, because just going back and forth, CDPR said they are targeting current gen consoles. So if next gen is really pretty close, that means Cyberpunk is pretty close as well, because they want to get it on current gen. Heard it here first.
I do think it is right around the corner.
2020.
2020. And
get the reveals next year.
Yeah.
But the conference overall, I haven't rewatched it, but I haven't rewatched it as a whole, but I've gone back and watched segments. And I rewatched the Ghost of Tsushima segment. I was like, by myself watching this, I'm like, this looks really, really good. And because I didn't have that sour taste in my mouth of that big intermission and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm like, this looks great.
The big stream cancel at the start.
Yeah, we were a bit down because the streaming fucked up, and then there was that weird intermission, and we kind of went into it with a negative mindset. But stepping back and looking at it again, it was a good presentation.
Yeah, as a big...
It is the presentation geared towards, this is why you have to buy a PS4. This is why you have to buy PlayStation, not here's all the third-party stuff like Microsoft have done, which benefited them in their own way, but this is why you have to get a PlayStation, and that message was delivered pretty well.
Yeah, and that's spot on, because as I sort of said on Twitter, and as we said in the last episode as well, is Microsoft gave me no reason to buy an Xbox. If I didn't already have one
yet.
Yet.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of their there is no reason to buy an X.
Yeah.
Period.
Great presentation from Microsoft,
Yes.
but like we said after the presentation, is that 90% of what we just saw, I can play on the PlayStation.
Hey,
That's a grind, baby.
My little man's having a real tough time. But he wants to come in the room.
Do you want to take a 5? Because I need to piss.
All right.
And then do you want to...
All right, we'll tend to my child.
Take 5, I'll cut it.
All right.
I'm back in 5. But it'll be instantly for those that are watching. And we're back from that brief intermission. But to anyone watching or listening, that would have been instantaneous because I have fantastic editing skills.
So yeah, we're
Just
back.
for fun, I'm going to leave that gap in there. I have good editing skills. We sat there for 10 minutes of nothing.
And hear me talking to my boy, bad dogs.
So there are concerns that Cyberpunk 2077...
Oh, so of course everyone say hi to James.
That's James. Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 may have troubles getting classified in Australia because of our guidelines on the R rating.
Mm-hmm.
I found a good article on Kotaku Australia, kind of outlining it. Right, I'll read through that. People have been waiting keenly for Cyberpunk 2077 ever since it was first announced, but judging by the Australians who have gotten their hands on time with the new CDPR RPG at E3, there's genuine concern that it might not get past the classification board. Whenever a game is refused classification in this country, it's usually due to two things. The first is around the depiction of sexual content, typically involving sexual violence or the depiction of minors in sexual scenes, acts, and so forth. The other and more common reason for a ban, drugs. Quote, computer games will be refused classification if they include or contain drug use related to incentives and rewards. The classifications board's report on For We Happy Few said. It's clause that has seen changes to Fallout, State of Decay and numerous other games, and it's because of that many Aussies in town for E3 are worried. There's a few tweets here from people that have actually played it in the biz. From Julian Rizzo Smith. Also, this game is totally not going to get past the classification board. Substance abuse, extreme nudity, violence, and I think gambling themes. And in terms of the drug use, David Milner says, to clarify, you have an inhaler that restores health and seems to give you some buffs. At a certain point, a guy that upgrades your tech gives you, and he says, take 2 puffs. It's plausible that more context will mean something else, but I think the implication is there. From the Alpha Respector, let me tell you, drugs are big in the source material. Here's just a few from Cyberpunk 2020 rulebook. Synth Coke, the second generation synthetic replacement for cocaine, and Speed Heal, designed to enhance the natural healing process. Because Cyberpunk is based on a board game and all that. A detail confirmed by IGN is that the player uses an inhaler to heal, which historically has been a giant red flag for the classification board. The censors have always been very quick to ban anything that treats drug use as a reward, whether those drugs are over-the-counter medicines or via prescription. It goes into a little bit more stuff there. It's pretty legit concerns, I think. Now, State of Decay fell afoul of censors because it would be very difficult to complete the game without some form of medication, and it seems Cyberpunk 2077 will run into the same issue unless there is an alternative healing mechanism.
I think what would be the best is just to rename it, like they did with Fallout 3. Like, this drug's not. This is not called Speed. This is called Jet.
Yeah, Jet. What else was there? I'm having a fucking mind.
There's
Psycho.
like Med-X.
Psycho, Med-X.
Yeah, Psycho, yeah.
Yeah. That seems like the easiest out, which is, I think, pretty doable.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the nudity and whatnot...
So when you say nudity, what are we looking at?
Been confirmed vaginas.
Vajays?
Possible penis.
Oh, and weenies.
Which I'm all for seeing both of those at any time.
Yeah. No, I'm in true equality. If we're going to see some vajays, I want to see some weenies.
Yeah. And maybe going in and out of each other. Who am I to judge? But Angry Joe... Angry Joe had an interview with the CDPR devs on the game just after E3. And there was a point he's talking about when you meet a certain female character who is in a very, very precarious sexual situation, and he said it kind of like blew his mind. It's like, holy shit, like that's fucking crazy, but it wasn't there for no reason either. The context is there for that particular scene. I'm guessing you save a girl from possible sexual violence or something like that.
Which could be a problem.
Thanks, bud. Which could be a problem, but in the context, it makes sense. But typically, the classification board doesn't care about context. It's just, is it there? Yep. Not having it. Thanks, bud. So, yeah, I am concerned. Thankfully, the PS4 is region-free. So I'll just fucking buy it if I have to.
I'll just use the US PSN, download it.
It would quite possibly be the biggest game to be denied classification at this point. Fallout's pretty big, State of Decay is pretty big, but I don't think any are quite on this level. And it would be huge if it was.
If I remember right, Fallout 3 wasn't refused. They pretty much went, change this and you'll be in.
Yeah.
So they won't be like, but
at that point it was refused. It's like, well, we're refusing you unless you change it.
Yeah, but they made it very clear. It wasn't like you're banned.
Yeah.
It was just
banned a doggy.
Yeah, and doggy.
Shouting doggy. There was a doggy in Fallout. Good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the drugs can be changed, but in terms of what I'm going to assume is sexual violence, that's you can remove that section from the game, but then you lose a lot of what could possibly be there for context and storytelling.
But I think going in there and preventing it, you're not taking part in it.
Don't put that in your mouth, mate. Is it okay? It's gone now anyway.
I think the difference is going in there and saving someone from it is different than because
it depends what you see as well, I suppose.
You want to get it?
No!
You want to get it? There you go, bud. Have fun.
Get it.
Sorry, my son's having
a bad day.
He's one of those moments. He's one of those days where he just wants daddy and nothing but daddy. So.
But yeah, I mean. There is no, like I said, I don't think we really have any comparisons for sexual violence at this point.
Oh no.
So it is very worrying.
Oh no, indeed.
It's
James.
very worrying to me because I'm super excited for it. But like I said, if I have to buy it from America and get it shipped over, I'll buy it from America and get it shipped
Capitalism, my friend. Go back to what I said before. Capitalism.
But it would be very disappointing. But
it would
a company as big as CDPR must know. Like they obviously know the guidelines for different companies at this point. I think The Witcher 3 pushed it a little bit, maybe because it did have.
It had sex but there was no
boobies, but no.
Yeah, boobies have been in games before. I think boobies is a problem.
No penetration. Yeah, there was the odd vagina in Watch Dogs 2 before they patched that out.
It was unintentional vagina. It was a bit different.
As if it was unintentional. Like, it was there.
Yeah, it was very much
You don't
there.
just forget to put panties on an NPC. But yeah, I want to know from all you Aussies out there, are you concerned? What can be done with the game so far to make sure it gets
See, my concerns come from a different place, and it's very difficult to have a train of thought when you've got a child being annoying on you. My train of thought comes from a different place. It's more of, this is happening more and more. Not the refuse classification, but like games are heading into these categories, into these genres or these topics, right? So my concern is, if this is where games are growing, as games are getting more adult and getting more into these, what would consider taboo game topics, we're going to see this more and more.
But then you look at, I know they're different mediums, but you look at Game of Thrones, which was given an MA, and there was some real graphic rape, graphic sexual violence.
See, this is that weird right now between TV and games, right? So my
games are interactive.
Yeah, my wife is currently watching 13 Reasons Why, which is that Netflix series.
Why is she watching it?
I don't know, she enjoys it. Someone gets sodomized by a broom handle, and it's on screen,
and it's on Netflix.
You know what I mean?
For anyone to watch.
That, I'm not saying that shouldn't exist. I'm just saying that is, you're not going to see that in a video game,
and it's not rated R, is it?
It's not rated R. I don't believe so, but probably.
I don't think it's pretty sure it's MA.
But the point I'm making, it's just that we're stuck in. There is that minor archaic look at games, is what it is. And on top of that,
if it's interactive, it means you're doing it and you agree with it.
And the way games are being told and sold right now, with Fortnite and Channel 9 News being a dick,
Bye,
buddy. Thank you for coming.
See ya. That Today stuff is fucking hilarious. I love they put up that Facebook post like, parents, are you worried about your child playing Fortnite and addiction? Just all these gamers just the most ridiculous shit. It's fucking hilarious.
He's back.
G'day.
But yeah, so that's my concern, because with the games and with the games growing in terms of their storytelling, in terms of what they want to do and what they want to say, this is a problem.
And it is the whole thing of, the gaming industry has grown up with us.
Yes.
The developers that were making Spyro and Crash and Croc and all that back in the day are now adults, and they want to tell adult stories because that's, the medium.
But I do understand why some of these guidelines are in place. An example with the sexual violence one, because if that's A-okay'd, then that opens a random horrible subset of games.
No, but
which can still be refused.
Yeah, exactly. So you can A-okay it, but have guidelines around how you can portray it, and the reason it's there.
But at the same
context
point,
is that big key
yes,
word.
but context is variable. Context is subjective, where the guidelines need to be objective, very clearly. Like, that's what they're there for. Because if they're up to interpretation, then what's the point of having them?
I get that too, but then they're a very different. Like, it's a very big spectrum, and if you go, nah, then you lose everything from this end because you want to stop everything.
That's the tar with the same brush, and that's always going to be the case.
I know, and it sucks.
It does totally suck. It sucks real hard. But
because we've had the classification discussion before.
Yes,
a few times now.
This is
I think
come up a lot recently.
we happy few we talked about recently. I know.
No, he's right.
Nothing breakable. Yeah, it's just we seem to be in that period of not make or break, but this is where the harder decisions have to be made. Yeah,
and I think it is one of those. We've had the R18 rating for a while now. Games have drastically changed in that time. Oh, he does bum, by the way. He likes a good fist bump.
Yeah, good boy.
I mean, like games rating system. So, and the games rating system has changed. Like, it has changed into what we now know it as, which is incredibly important to see that level of growth. But games are growing way more rapidly than movies. Movie ratings have. Like, I'm sure there was a room to change and adapt. And hey, Millie, can you please come grab James? He's making it very difficult to hold a conversation.
Oh no! He sees a look on his face. He's like, "What did you just say?"
We're trying to record a conversation here, buddy. You're making it very difficult.
Pretty sure we're almost finished.
We are almost finished, but I'm trying to have a coherent thought here, and it's not really happening. Wiggle. See, now I've lost my train of thought again.
Movies have had the same
Yes, so
guidelines for a
imagine
long
when
time.
the movie guidelines were being established, there would have been some grey area. There would have been some discussion points, you know what I mean? Like, because they would have changed. Like, what, you know... I'm just trying to think of, like, as an example, like... You think about the US, right? Where their PG-13 rating came in as a result of the situation around them. And I think we may have to do that. We may have to evolve what an R... I'm not saying we need to bring in a new classification, but we need to tweak those guidelines a little bit. Have a look at them, change them. Take into account where games are growing. We're growing too.
There's also nothing to say why
Thanks,
can't
Dickie
we
Knee.
add another classification as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's progression, yeah? You know, you get in a situation, you adapt to it, you get into another situation a couple of decades later, and you adapt to it, and whether that means reviewing the guidelines, creating a new subsect, you know, a new rating, you know, it's R+, you know?
Or even an X, which is like an adults, as in like unquestionably adult. But even then, that brings in the line.
That
of
brings
like
in the
horror.
rape simulators from Japan.
Yeah, which
you
we
know,
don't
which
like.
we can't have either.
Yeah.
I'd hate to work on the classification board.
Yeah.
It would be the biggest mindfuck.
And once again, this is falling into that entitlement issue. You know, I mean, like, we should be able to get every game that we want. Like, you're gonna
No,
get
but
every movie you want.
I don't agree with every game because there are real pieces of shit video games. out
Hell
there.
yeah, there are.
But there are also things that can tell a compelling story and have the reasons behind it that, you know, don't fit someone's perception of what is allowed.
Yeah.
And it's all like, on one hand, it's I decide what I want to look at. I'm a grown-ass man. And on the other side, it's like, yeah, but then that lets in a whole bunch of other shit that is not okay. Yeah. So,
And like that's people love the idea of like, you know, like, well, let's just have a big open society and everyone gets with them. Like, no, that's how chaos ensues. That's how horrible shit happens. You know what I mean? It's ideally big floodgates. Look at what you. It's better than what Steam's doing right now. Yeah. Steam has no restriction. They went the other way. They went like, fuck it. As long as it's like not trolling or illegal.
There was a game on there the other day about spreading AIDS.
Yeah, AIDS simulator.
Yeah.
Then there was that high school shooting simulator game as well. Yeah. Like that is the worst case scenario. I don't want to see that shit.
I don't want to see that on the PlayStation.
We have the choice to not play that game, but I do not want to see that shit on consoles. Like, what I love about consoles is they're free of that garbage. But
except Life of Black Tiger.
But the problem is, if we loosen the restraints a little bit, it allows much worse things to come in.
But you know, there's all kinds of guidelines and all that. I'm sure there is a solution. It just doesn't seem like it's being looked into at the moment.
It's a solution
that we're still at the point where it's like, this is what it is. And they're not at the point where it's like, we need to look a little bit deeper and see what can be done.
See, what I think that this is the thing. So right now in the US, they have the ESRB, right, that rates their games. They are currently external to the government. They're within the industry, right? So for the it's got kicked in the groin. Oh, please take child.
Lunchtime, kid.
Oh, my groin.
Football in the groin. Football in the groin.
So the benefit of the ESRB is that they are
independent from the government.
Yeah. So nothing, and that's the difference we have here. The Australian Classification Board is a government function, therefore it has to be as objective as it is. Like with an inside thing, it can have that context because these people are in the industry, they get it, they understand. Although I highly doubt that'll happen here, I think that may be a way to fix it.
Once the government has it, they're not going to let it go to someone else.
Exactly.
I don't believe there'd be any group of people, no matter how highly regarded they are, that could go to the Australian government and be like, we'll take this off your hands and we'll do it ourselves. And they'll be like, no, not a chance. Yeah,
but until that day, we're going to be stuck with that super objective, this is what it is, regardless. You know, like
I said, thankfully, PS4 is region free. You have a US account, you can buy it from Amazon America or whatever. It might take you a bit longer to get it.
You can't do that now.
What?
You can't buy international. You can't use international Amazon anymore.
Oh well.
Thanks to that Netflix tax, whatever the fuck.
eBay then.
There is a way. We will get
There's plenty of ways to get this particular game, but other games obviously aren't as fortunate.
An example, like I enjoyed the Manhunt from Rockstar. You know, a game that is straight up refused classification here. I bought it on the US PSN. It's on my PS4. I can play it right now. And I will probably, and like I have been. It's horrible.
Can't stream it though.
Can't stream it. You know, same thing like Manhunt 2. They didn't even attempt to lodge it here. Bought it off eBay, $8. Now I've got it. I'm not going to play it. It's got for the collection. But like that's the thing, you know, that is the talking about archaic shit. You know, with like Fortnite and PlayStation, how they're behaving. This is in that same boat. We have the open internet. You can't restrict anything to an extent. No. Like, you know, I think there are some restrictions, of course. Like you can't buy those rape simulators, all that sort of stuff. Thank Christ.
You still get them.
You still get them. But there's a lot of hoops you have to get through to get them. Not
really. You go to the Pirate Bay and get the ISO.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I've done it, but it's not that hard to get a video game.
You know
what I mean? It's not that hard to get a video game.
Yeah.
From a number of pirating sites. You just download it, put it on Daemon Tools or whatever, and there it is. Didn't cost you a cent. Horrible. Don't do that.
What do you think, though? Like I said, what do you think of this predicament with Cyberpunk and potentially being refused classification? Like, it doesn't look good, and I think there will be a very interesting response if that was to happen.
It may be the game that encourages that big discussion. Like, if enough people speak out about it in a respective, polite, reasonable way, it may be the game that triggers that big discussion about it. Like, you're not going to get much bigger than this at the moment. You know, like I said, Fallout's one thing, State of Decay is another thing, We Happy Few is another thing, but, you know, this is a very big game from a very big studio, and if you are reasonable in your approach to this discussion, it may
that reasonable discussion got us an R18 rating as it is. So if we keep that conversation going, keep it well, create a petition, you know, have legitimate people in the industry step up and have a say, and I think we could make change again.
Let's do it together. We're the PopCulturists. That PlayStation conversation happened on a Monday morning at 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and 8 a.m. on iTunes and the other podcast services. If you'd like to be a part of that conversation, please join us on Facebook, join us on Discord, comment below. If you're feeling generous, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/PopCulturists. Head over there, check out the tiers. There might be something there that interests you.
And if you want to show the love for Pop Culturists on your body, head popculturist.com/shop where you can buy shirts and pillowcases and phone cases and other random shit with our logos on it. And be sure to head over to twitch.tv/PopCulturists where we be streaming. We be streaming all
day, every day.
Where we will be streaming a ton of games more often than here. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
And that was For the Players.